Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's Lisa Maynard, and this is Kit Crush Wednesday. I have been gone for quite a while since Christmas time, and I am finally back. So welcome, everyone. I appreciate you joining me and tuning in. We are going to start this week with the December paper pumpkin, which just was delivered the end of December, and it is called Watercolor in Bloom. I really like this kit. So we're going to start off January, or the middle of January, with this kit. So let's not even hesitate, and let's just jump right in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. And when anyone joins, just give me a hello or a thumbs up or let me know you're watching. But at the moment, we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started. And I'm going to show you these wonderful cards that are made with this kit. And it is the Watercolor in Bloom. So we have also, obviously watercolor card bases. So this is one of them. Miss you so much. And then another one, there's definitely a flower theme going on. Thank you. Very nice card. Dear friend, and another nice card. And then the envelopes are all the same. They match, and they have this along the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put these out of the way a little bit here and maybe help keep that glare down. And let's go ahead and bring in the kit. And let's show you what's in this month's kit. So to get started, well, we have some tear and tape, which we're going to need. We have the instructions, which are absolutely important to have. We do have, and I don't have them right now because I have them all on blocks. This is the stamps that are included in the kit. They would be on this piece of acetate, but at the moment, or acetate film, but I have them on blocks, so we're not going to worry about that. We have the ink spot for the month. It's Night of Navy. So with your paper pumpkins, you get the ink spot, but only on your first kit do you get the block. The continuing kits, you will just get the ink spots because you already have the block. So there's that. Then we have our Stampin' Dimensionals and these copper colored little sequins, which are very cute, which we are going to be using. Then we have our sentiment pieces where we're going to stamp on. We have our die cut pieces that we're going to be using. This is a layering piece, as are these pieces right here with the gold foil on them. Oops, there goes my. And we have a piece, some die cut vellum pieces, card bases, and then our envelopes in there. So let's go ahead and put all these back in, except for our instructions and the things that we're going to need. And we're going to get right into it. So there's some stamping on this, more than just the sentiment. So let's go ahead and bring in the first card. Oops. Let's bring in the first card. And that would be this one. Now I'm going to set these parts and pieces aside for a moment. And we're going to go ahead and fold this card base. And I have my bone folder. There it is. Around here somewhere. We're going to go ahead and crease that card base so it's nice and straight. Then we're going to come and bring in our parts and pieces that need to be stamped on. And those would be these two pieces right here. So one is going to have our sentiment on it, and one we're going to do some stamping with some flower images. So let's go ahead and start with the flower images. This is actually very fun to do. I like how this turns out because it creates a background for our sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my full size Stampin' Pad in the Night of Navy. And I'm going to put that right here and bring in our first stamp, which would be, and I'm looking for it right now. It's right in front of me. This is the one that I was going to use. So this is going to be stamped, this fern-shaped leaf is going to be stamped in the middle of this. And it's going to be stamped up a little bit higher than normal, not quite in the middle, a little bit higher than the middle. So we're going to stamp that one there. And then we're going to come in with this other little leaf piece. And we're going to stamp this on each side of it. one here, and then we're just going to turn it, and we're going to stamp one here, just like so. And there we go. Whoop, I missed that a little bit. Let me see if I can get that back on. And not bad. Okay, there's that. Now, let's go ahead and set those aside. We are going to come in with our greeting or our sentiment. Now, on this block, as you can see, I put both of the stamps. I did that because I know that there's going to be some space in between those, and it was easy to line up the stamps on my block here on my glass mat. And so I knew that they were straight. So you can do that if you want, or you can stamp them separately. But this is just much easier, I thought, to have them both on the block. And so I know where I'm going to stamp, and I already have the space in between them. Now I'm going to stamp the sentiment on this. I'm going to stamp it closer to the bottom because I'm going to have something on the top of this block of this square piece of paper. So we're going to go ahead and stamp it on the bottom there. Miss you so much. So let's go ahead and fold this back up so I do not get my hands in that. I'm going to put these blocks over here also so I also do not get my hands in those. All right. Now, here comes our layering our piece together. So now we've stamped on this. We are going to put some tear and tape on the back of this because I didn't do that before because we were stamping and I did not want to get it. I did not want to make it uneven. We don't want to stamp on something that's uneven. So we're going to go ahead and put about 3 pieces. Now, if you've watched me before, I like to use my snips to put the tear and tape on. It's tear and tape for a reason. You can obviously use, you can just tear it if you want, but I like to use my snips. I just like the edge just a little bit nice. Oh, dropping things all over the place. Okay, I'm going to press those down a little bit with my bone folder, and that is because when I come in with my take your pick tool, it's super easy to lift those off then. And I'm going to lift 1, 2, maybe 2, 2, and 3 off. There we go, just like that. Maybe there's lots of static in the air tonight. So, okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take this layering piece, the vellum. And as you can see, I've already put the tear and tape on the back of that. And that's not going to show because this is going to be on the front of it. Now, this is going to go top to bottom. It's going to fit, but right and left sides, it's not. So I just am going to kind of set this at the top so that I can see if I like where it's positioned. And then I'm going to lightly make sure it's where I want. And before I push it down, and now I'm going to go ahead and press that down because I liked the amount of vellum on each side of that. So I went ahead and did that. Now, let's go ahead and attach this to our card base. So we're going to take that off. We're going to take that off. And this one. And this is pretty much, it actually goes top to bottom. So again, I'm going to turn my card sideways. This works for me. I'm going to turn my card sideways. I'm going to lightly set it down where I think that it looks good, centered. And then again, lightly set it down on the end and not push it down really until I see where I think that I want that. And that looks pretty good. So then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good press. And then it is attached. So there we go. There is that. Now we're going to adhere our sentiment. And on the back of this little die cut, we have some tear and tape. This is going to go on the top of that. So again, just burnish that a little bit so it makes it easy to take this off. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Actually, yeah, no, that's right. it attaches this way to this way. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Kind of line it up with where it goes, like so. And give it a nice little press, just like that. And so then this is going to go here after I put some dimensionals on the back of that. So let's go ahead and get our dimensionals, and then we're going to adhere this to our card. So let's go ahead and grab some of these, and let's just do 4, and we've got enough on that. So let's go ahead, and this pops all the way up. Gives it a nice look. So we're going to go ahead and set this here. Kind of like I want it about, so I can see those layers peeking through. I think I want it right about there. So see, you can see those stamped layers peeking through a little bit. So I like how that looks. We can see the little stamped layers peeking through, gives it a little bit more dimension. And then our little flower is going to go right here to cover these stems up. And then let's go ahead and bring in our very pretty sequins. I'm going to use my take your pick, and I'm going to put 2 right here. Usually do it in odd numbers. And another little one right over there, just like that. And there you go, friends. There's our first card. Miss you so much. I have to pay attention to make sure I keep that in the frame. There's our first card. Done. Now let's move on. These do take a little bit more time than the cards that you get in your normal kit. So this might run a little long tonight, so bear with me. We're going to go ahead and burnish this card base. Now I've already done all the stamping on this one. So just so you know, so what you're going to stamp is you're going to stamp these little flowers and then the sentiment on there. And this, and again, I've prepped all these. So let's go ahead and bring this in and scoop these over. I'm going to go ahead and burnish all of these. So we're layering the sentiment on this floral oval. And then we're layering it on the vellum, which is then going to be placed on the card. So lots of layering going on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take these off so we can get this on our oval piece. Usually I do not have that much problem with the tear and tape. I don't know what's going on tonight. Okay. Now, there is a right and a wrong side to this because there's the copper foil. So again, I'm gonna try and center this in my oval. I'm not gonna push down hard because in case I want to pick it up, I don't want it to adhere down, and I want that up just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There and there, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a press and come in again. Take these off. There really isn't a right and a wrong side to the vellum, so that I wouldn't worry about as much. Now, again, this is going to kind of be centered, so we want all of the white inside of the vellum, and I was off a little bit. I would have liked to have had that over a little bit more on this, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So again, pay attention before you give that a press and set that all the way down. So let's go ahead and put this on here. And then this is going to be centered on our card, left to right, up and down, top to bottom. And we're going to put that right about there. That looks pretty good. Give it a nice press. And then we're going to come on with our little die cut here. And this is going to go like this. And it's going to go right like that. And it's going to come just in the middle of those things. Now, before I put this on, I'm going to go ahead and attach my little flower to this. Because then I'm not going to be pushing down on that. So, and actually, no, maybe I'm not. Depending on where I want to put that. I'm going to put this on first. So basically follow the directions. Don't just ignore what I just said. Okay, we're going to put that right about like there. Right about like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this off. And we're going to put this right about like that. So I can still see those little sprigs that are popping out of there. So there's our thank you. Very nice card. I love the vellum. I love how it's all layered and the colors are just beautiful. Okay, last card. Here we go. All of our little parts and pieces. I'm going to slide over here. We're going to go ahead and burnish this card base just like so. Now, I have stamped the sentiment on this, as you can see. But I haven't stamped. There's two little spriggies that need to be stamped on this. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring this back in. And they're really cute. They're just stamped at the top and the bottom over here by these little blue leaves. And I just wanted to show you what that looked like. It's just that you use every stamp, every single stamp in this kit you use. So we put one there. Just adds a little something. I'm just going to turn it around and put one right there. And there we go. You wouldn't even know that they hadn't even been stamped on there. So very cute. Super, super cute. Okay, moving that away. And now let's go ahead and adhere our, let's go ahead and adhere these to each other. Now, this has one strip of the tear and tape on it. So I'm just going to use my take your pick tool and see if that works. And it works fairly well. So this is going to adhere to our little piece here with the bronze in it. And again, or copper, I should say. It's not bronze. It's going to go end to end is going to fit. I just want to make sure that I get it as close to between those copper lines as we can, and it worked. And so now I'm going to then adhere this to my vellum. And again, it's going to fit left to right. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a press. Now, we're going to adhere this card to our card base, or this element, sorry, the layering piece, to our card base with some dimensionals. So I'm going to load this up because it is going to hold my sentiment. And my sentiment is going to go in the middle of this. So I want that nice and strong in the middle there. So let's go ahead and take these off. Now, normally, I just wanted to show you that little stamp part, the little floral part. Otherwise, I would have had these on there and we wouldn't have been taking up as much time. Okay, here's our base. Again, centering top to bottom, left to right. Give that a nice little press, just like that. Now, this is going to be popped up on dimensionals also, which I could not do until we adhered everything together. So one there, and one there. Let's go ahead and take these off. And as you can see, this is going to go right there in the center of that. Now, the vellum is going to allow you, and actually, whoa, it doesn't span left to right. It's centered. So the vellum helps you see through to the back of what is going on there. Super, super cute. Now, before I adhered that, I should have probably put this little piece on. I've got a piece of tear and tape on the front of this because it's going to go right under here, and it's going to attach to the vellum right there. But that's okay. We can do it now. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And then we're going to just attach it. Right like so. And that is going to attach. So it's attached. And then we're going to come in with our little flower. And our flower is going to cover where you can see that, those little sprigs on the, there we go. Cute. Now, you know what I forgot to do on both of these? I forgot to add our sequins. Holy cow. I can't believe I forgot that. Let's go ahead and add our sequins to these. All right. On this one, we're going to add some sequins and sparkle this up a little bit. I felt like it was missing something right there and there and there. So we've added sequins to that, which just really jazzes it up. And then we're going to add 3 to this one. And let's put one here. You can put these wherever you'd like. There is no right or wrong place to put an embellishment. No right or wrong. So there we are, friends. It's wonderful, wonderful cards. I'm going to bring these back in. This is a wonderful kit. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you didn't get this kit, I would suggest going back and seeing if you could get the refills for this kit, or if the kit itself is available, because it is darling, darling, darling. And if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I would maybe suggest that you should probably go ahead and sign up for that, because we do have wonderful things that come along every month. And it is kind of a surprise what is happening. So with that, I'm going to turn this back around. And we're going to be solo, and I'm going to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. Tune in next week. We'll be looking at another kit that came out in January. It's a lovely kit too. It is flower themed. But until then, thank you again for tuning in. Share this with your friends. Hit that like button, comment. Let me know you've watched it. You can watch here on YouTube. You can rewatch it. I truly appreciate all of you. And until then, have a great week. Bye.